Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of the Listen While You Pissin' podcast. I am your host, Connor.
I'm August.
I'm cool.
I'm Jacob.
And today we have a very special guest. We have one of our friends, Riker, on the pod today.
Hey guys.
Today we are going to try a different subject. Instead of doing people, well, while there is a person in this list, we are doing items. And we're going to do the best item to have on an abandoned island. With the bottom being just absolutely nothing. And then the top being, the ultimate goal, which is escape. So we've got a rescue team on the top. Our first item today is going to be a, very generic survival cooking set.
Hey.
Now, we don't have
Okay.
a lot of stuff here yet. So, there's not a lot. I mean, obviously, we're going to move things around as we go. But where would
But
we
to start,
set
it's gotta be
this?
pretty high.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say it has to be pretty high because it helps with, purifying food and all that other stuff.
I agree.
So, I mean, it's gonna get moved later, so we can go. We can start pretty generic with these. I mean, I'm fine with somewhere like over here.
I agree. You see how we're like with 4x4 squares, kinda.
Yeah,
I would put it 2 squares away from the helicopter.
2 squares away from the helicopter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fair assumption.
No,
Yeah,
two big ones.
Two big
Oh,
squares.
two big squares.
Yes.
Okay. I was gonna say I see.
Yeah,
two big
yeah, right
squares.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right
okay.
about there.
I
Yeah.
got you. All right. This one. It depends on the person. Some people can find this useful. Some people can find this not. We've got a Glock with only 2 magazines, and a standard Glock has 6 rounds per magazine. So you think of it as a Glock with 12 rounds.
My amazing drawing.
Amazing MS Paint editing by Jacob.
Yeah.
Now I see that this. I don't know. I see that there's better ways. Obviously, you can hunt with it,
True.
but it's limited. So after a while, what is it? Just like a blunt weapon?
I would say it's limited to the island because, if your island's if the island, let's say, is kind of small with nothing on it, I mean, you ain't hunting for very long, and it doesn't really work underwater. Guns don't really do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
Yeah.
it can't be super high, considering that it doesn't have as much of a utility use as the survival kit does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
and you
it's
can't
still-
really
it's
like
still
this.
useful though.
Yeah, you can't disassemble it. Like you don't have the tools, so
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's kind of just an object
It's like the most
after
you
you
can do
use
is
it.
just hit stuff with it afterwards. It's like, okay, I'm out of ammo, and then you just throw it at stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
that's true.
consumable item with limited. The cooking set that has no that can be used for a very long time, if forever. This has a limited quantity. After you fire those 12 shots, it's just a piece of metal that you can't
Yeah.
really use for anything else. It's better than nothing. So, I mean, how we did it with the 2 squares from the helicopter. What do you guys think about 2 squares from nothing? Maybe
Yeah,
three because it's a
fair.
lethal weapon.
I would put it in the middle.
I'd say
The middle
yeah,
seems fair.
the middle.
Yeah, what about like
Like
5
4.
squares?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
There you go.
Good
Guys,
job.
I'm good at counting, I swear. Okay.
Good job,
That's about the
you
middle.
got it.
It's a little less,
Yeah.
but I think that is deserving.
I think that's good enough because I feel like once we get to later stuff, it'll probably get moved down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I said, this is an objects tier list, but I said there was one exception, and that exception is the one and only Danny DeVito. Now, there are criteria when it comes to this Danny DeVito. One, he is 80 years old now. Happy birthday, Danny DeVito. Whenever your birthday is, you're 80 now. He cannot help. He's not another. He's not muscle. He can't help. He's immortal because you wouldn't want to be on an island and just watch an 80-year-old guy die. That's just super depressing. So he can't die, but also he can't help. He's just kind of like a companion that can follow you around. So you just have someone to talk to.
Yeah. It's kind of like in Castaway when he made that volleyball Wilson. It's like
yep.
that, but it's an actual live human, so you're not going to go insane.
Exactly. Yeah. Instead of it, this has feelings and can speak English. So
Yes.
So more or less, it's like the spirit of Danny DeVito, kind of.
guess you could say that. I mean, he's
Yeah, it's
embodied. You can, he's a physical person. You can touch him, but he just can't like. You'd be like, hey, help me build a fire. He's like, no, can do, boss. I don't know how to do that, or something like that. That way he's not like you can't use him as a tool.
He's not allowed to interfere.
Yeah, exactly. He's not allowed to interfere. He's only there to talk.
Okay.
Now, I don't know really. Like,
I mean, I don't think he'd be above the Glock because I feel like his main purpose is to make sure you don't go insane on the island.
That's true.
yeah. And it's just mental. Like, you're getting like a mental reward instead of like the Glock. Like, you could feed yourself. And like realistically, the Glock can take down a big animal, depending on the size of the island. If there's like a big animal, because I mean it's an abandoned island. It's like you really don't know what you're getting onto when boat crash, plane crash, whatever. So if there's the chance that there's a big animal on there and you take it out with a gun, like that could be like a week's worth of food.
So would Danny DeVito like take up resources then?
No,
Like-
he can't die. He's immortal. So like he's not gonna take up food or water. He's
Okay.
just gonna exist.
I don't know.
He's like an imaginary friend, but like actually physical
He's
body.
actually there.
Yeah, so you're not insane with an imaginary friend. He's real. But he has the exact same qualities as an imaginary friend, other than he's a physical being. I would put him, honestly, I would probably put him right at the border of the photo of the Glock, so like somewhere like right here for right now. I don't know, maybe a little bit lower just because he's not like an actual tool.
Yeah, maybe a square away.
Yeah, so like something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh, sure.
That's not
Okay.
bad, yeah.
We'll go,
Yeah.
we'll go there. He'll probably
Yeah.
be moved around later. He'll go there for
He like can't help you or anything, so it's like just having another person there who just kind of exists.
Exactly. This is gonna need some explaining. So, a pro gaming setup for all you gamers out there. This is gonna be run. We decided it's gonna be run by solar power, and you're gonna get fiber internet with it. So, technically, you'll have infinite gaming forever, but also, you're on an abandoned island, and you still have to feed yourself and all that.
Yeah, I don't really think you can eat microchips or plastic. So it's mostly just it's less of a essential and more of a commodity. Or I don't think that's the right word.
It's like to take yourself out of the fact that you're stranded on an island, like a distraction.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think, being a pro gamer myself, the gaming setup would be nice, but also, I have a gaming setup at home that I could get to. So I don't know if I'd rather just, like, accept my fate and game till I die, or, pick something that might get me back to my OG gaming setup for life, This is, like, an infinitely better
It's gotta
gaming
be
setup.
below Danny DeVito.
You think it's gotta be below?
Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have to be below.
I think it's like having it's like the same thing as having Danny DeVito there, except it just sits there and does nothing all the time.
Wait a second. I kind of just thought of a loophole here. What if you play a game and you try to get contact for help?
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
goodness, I didn't even think about that. That seems
That is, yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
but
like,
what would you tell them?
Well,
Oh my
hold on,
God,
but you couldn't
so-
access where you're at though.
That's
IP address, right?
But IP address to a random island,
Yeah, I don't.
like
Google
Sure,
Maps.
Why not?
Sure.
If you have
Google
access
Maps
to fiber
location.
internet, if you have access to fiber internet.
that's true.
Holy
So
crap.
I didn't even think about that. That's actually crazy. So this
Yeah,
is gonna be
or-
like top tier. Like this is gonna be like right here. It just
I
one tick
agree.
below because it just gives you one extra step than actually just being picked up.
Well, like even though you
can
get
imagine,
picked
though.
up, like won't you have to like won't you have to wait for the people to come? And how long does that exactly take?
That's true.
Well, I imagine it wouldn't take that. I mean, it depends on what island you're on. It could take like a day. It
Exactly.
could take.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're not gonna take their time coming and getting you. Like if you're abandoned on an island, like they're gonna send out a rescue team. So I would say at most it could take like a boat. Well, no, a boat would take a long time. I could see like a helicopter
At most
taking
a
like
week.
a little bit. Yeah, at most a week,
At least a
and
week.
I think
Sometimes
you
what they
could
do-
survive a week.
Okay,
I think they
okay.
would just
Easily.
like put a helicopter on a boat, and then they'd be like, "All right, the helicopter can make it there and back. Send it out." I don't think it would
Mhm.
really realistically take super long.
That's true.
You would have to leave the setup. 'Cause, like,
No.
Dude,
No,
that's
this is
that's
better than
crazy.
mine.
Can we get one of those like Chinook helicopters and just like pick it up and drag
the
it?
military ones.
True.
Yeah.
You can hack into
Those
the
double
military
propellant ones?
database, get a remote controlled Chinook, fly it to your location, and
Yes.
pick you up. There you go.
Gotta have your priorities straight, bro.
True.
All right, this was a Cole pick. You're gonna probably see a lot more of these Cole picks later on. A Pokemon booster pack.
Let's freaking go.
So
is like one
clearly, why do we need this?
It's,
I
yeah,
think it's
doesn't do anything.
slightly no. Hear me out. I think it's slightly above Dana DeVito.
What?
Only because
Yes.
only because you could use it to start fires. It is paper and cardboard, which makes
Oh,
it like if it rains or something while you're on the island and you haven't opened it yet, it's a dry source of a fire starter. All the leaves
Wait
and
a
everything on the
second.
island's gonna get wet, so you could use the Pokemon cards to start a
Why
fire.
is Riker cooking?
He actually is kind of cooking here.
Yeah.
This is why you're our special guest. This is why.
It's literally like a backup. Like it's like everything's wet. I'm soaked. I'm cold. I haven't built the shelter yet. All right,
the
I
cards
got
also
Pokemon.
might be some sort of reflective. So if you can reflect it towards something in the distance,
Yeah, you like pull
like
foil.
glasses, exactly, because some of them are reflective.
Yeah, but that's a gamble. You don't know what's in the pack.
Yeah.
It's a
you
gamble.
you gotta open the pack. You gotta gamble it.
What?
Dude,
So like,
the
here's the thing
controls
though.
are
If you
cold, I
get
can't
something,
burn it.
I swear, like, I bet you if Cole was on an island, right? And he got this pack, and he ended up picking up like a $500 thing of Pokemon card, like a $500 Pokemon card out of this pack. You know, is he gonna use that to burn it, or is he gonna gamble with his life and be like, you know what, I'm gonna keep this one in case I get out, because this is a good card.
So going back to the reflective thing, if we can reflect the cards, couldn't we also reflect Danny DeVito's sunglasses?
Oh.
No,
my
well,
God,
he can't
wait.
help. He cannot intervene
can't
with
help,
the
yeah.
process.
Yeah, you can't.
So you can't take
Yeah,
his
he's-
sunglasses.
he's
or
like
his
the watcher.
glasses- Not sunglasses.
Yeah, he
Hmm.
cannot intervene with any of the process. He's just basically a talking body, you know?
Okay, okay.
I don't know.
The Pokemon cards are
I
like
don't know. I
between
honestly,
Yankee
now
and
that
Fox.
Riker said that, I want to put it in between. Because you only get 11 fire starters. Because it's an 11,
hey,
it's
that's
11 additional
11.
game cards.
I mean,
Could
that's
you-
a good amount though. 11 is like what, a week and a half worth of fires.
Yeah,
So
it
that's
is.
a lot of time.
I'll put
Well-
it for right now. We can put it. How do you guys feel about in between the gun and DeVito?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. This one might take the cake, depending on if we find a flaw. A lightsaber, specifically the purple one because it's the coolest.
Thank you.
Yes, it is.
Honestly, I think that's gotta be in like terms of surviving, it's gotta be better than the gaming chair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could start a fire with a lightsaber.
Well,
and
in
like
terms
you
of
can, you can kill
surviving,
stuff.
what do you mean by
Yeah,
that?
in terms of actual like, because okay, the chair. The whole thing about the chair is you just get to leave, and you don't have to live on the island. The lightsaber is you don't get to leave, but you have to live on the island. Is like what I mean.
You can
Yeah.
be self-sufficient with it.
Yeah, you can like cook, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, you
start
can use
fires
it to
and
start
stuff.
fires. You can cut down trees. You can defend
Oh my
yourself.
goodness, you could cut
you can
down
use it as
trees.
a lantern.
No,
Could you
we
use it
can-
as a fire?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if
you
you can use
can.
it as a fire because
I
it
don't know
would
if it's
probably just
warm.
like disintegrate the steak or.
But
you know,
but you could like set some line of leaves on fire, and it could like you would torch the
Be a
first
fire
one, and it would
starter.
like be close to going out, but it'd be like a fuse.
I'd say this has to be close to the gaming chair just because of its survival aspects. You know, the
Yeah.
gaming chair's a way out.
Lightsaber
that's why it's so
underwater?
close, but
That's fair.
Lightsaber work underwater?
I was
Yeah,
actually about
they
to
do.
ask that. If you
They
stabbed a
do.
lightsaber underwater, would it just like?
I mean, no. I mean, like, if you were
There's-
underwater, could you activate it? I think you can, right? That's
I think you
happened.
can. I
Yes,
think in the
You
movies,
can, yes, in the Clone
So,
Wars
like-
TV show that used it underwater.
Good.
Oh
my
yeah,
God.
I know
I didn't
exactly
even
what
know that.
episode you're talking about. I know exactly what like series you're talking about. Yeah, so even then you could use it to, like hunt fish and stuff too. It'd be like owning a spear, except it like is super dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to drop it upside down because then it just kind of,
Shut up.
Yeah, like the Rick and Morty
Vertically
thing.
down.
Yeah.
Watch it
the
just
Rick and Morty thing. Alright, the next one I have is the Fortnite Porta Bunker. Only
Ooh.
one. Like, it's not like a stack. You get one Porta
it's
Bunker.
got it. I'm
However-
gonna say it's in between the Glock and the survival supplies.
Yeah.
It's instant shelter.
Yeah.
Then,
Yeah,
yeah, that's why
that's
I'd
it.
say the cooking set and Glock. I'd say honestly for right now, it's probably mid between the both. Maybe a little bit leaning more towards the cooking set. If I like that much. What do you guys think?
Okay. I honestly think
Yeah,
that is
I agree with
perfect
that.
where it is.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a good spot.
It's a shelter, but there's also just has a giant hole in it too, because of the ramp.
Oh,
yeah.
true.
I guess you
Yeah.
could go
It's
on,
like,
you could just
if
put the
you
bed
have
under
a
the ramp.
shelter. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's probably what you would do. But it's like if it's like super windy, you're just gonna be cold. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's not blocking.
I'm
the
sure you
whole
could
lot.
use, like,
yeah, you
island
could use
sources.
leaves and sticks and
Yeah,
stuff.
you
to
could probably
cover up
put
that
logs
thing,
and stuff
then-
over it.
And then
Yeah.
you would
Yeah,
just
doors.
put doors leather on the side.
And it's
Yeah.
metal, so it's super durable, and it can trap heat. Maybe that is right. Like metal traps heat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think so.
And when you put it down, it has like tires on the edge of the roof. So
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
those might
Raft
be useful for
those.
something,
Big
but
raft.
Yeah, cut them off.
Yeah, you could use them to make a raft later.
oh yeah.
Riker's onto something
It
here.
gives you rope. It gives you rope and stuff too. I didn't even think about that. It gives you rope and you got the
Oh
tires.
yeah.
Riker's cooking like crazy today.
I know.
And you could use the rope to start a fire too. If you're like, I don't want to go out in the water and not know where I'm going by making a raft, just use the rope to start a fire.
You could also make a tire swing.
Okay.
I know what I need right now. I need a swing.
Tire swing.
I'm on this island by myself.
Yeah. Stranded
know,
on an
I-
island. I'm dying of thirst and hunger. Tire swing.
Exactly.
It's like Danny DeVito though. Like you're just trying to have a good time.
Exactly.
I think we should move it up a little bit.
Tire swing.
I think we should move
The
it
shelter,
like
yeah,
here.
with the new tools, we could probably. I'll probably put it here. Well, honestly, is it better than the cooking set now? Because you don't
No.
need the cooking set to
Uh-uh.
cook.
Well, it helps a
But-
lot.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
Okay,
making
I
a
mean,
shelter is
okay,
easier
so-
than setting up things to cook.
Mm.
Yes.
So the cooking set comes with like a canteen. It looks like too.
It
I
looks
mean,
like
that-
right here. Here, I'll blow it up. It looks like it has like a flint and steel.
Oh.
Oh yeah, it does.
Was that
So
a
Yeah,
flint
that
that's
would
gonna
be
be
better.
helpful.
Pot.
It also
They
has
would, they would make it
compost.
really easily to boil water.
I think it gives you a like a little pack, so you can like carry it around. Too.
Yeah. I don't know. I still think the porta bunker's below the cooking set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I don't think it goes above.
All right. The
Okay.
next one I have is a little interesting. I honestly don't know where this could go.
So
Toyota Corolla
yeah,
with one full tank of
specifically
gas.
the 2010 LE model. I was gonna make that apparent because I picked the picture. So we're gonna go with the 2010 Toyota Corolla LE.
Okay.
Okay.
Way to be
Uh,
specific.
Okay, all I'm saying is this like the whole car, like the actual, like there's no, like it's not like the floorboard's gone. Or
No,
anything
this is
like
the
that.
whole car with one tank of gas. Like they literally just took it off the lot and they plopped it on the
Better
island.
than the
You could use it as
better than the
shelter.
Portafort. It's
Yeah,
better than
you
the
used it
Portafort.
as shelter, and did you say it's better
If
than the
you-
Portafort?
Bunker.
Dude, it has the tires. You could rip the seat lining out. It has like padding. There's so much stuff you could burn. It has a
You
battery.
siphon the
can put
gas out of
tires
it, I guess,
inside
for a fire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's actually
there's
what I
so
was-
much
That's smart.
stuff that you could like rip out of the car to help you live. I think it's above the Portafort.
Isn't there literally some sort? I don't know how cars exactly work, but isn't there some sort of spark igniter because of like
Yeah.
There's an
the
ignition,
igniters?
yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So like,
You
like,
just
wait.
have it like fire right there.
Yeah.
That's I didn't think about that. Is it above the cooking set?
No.
No.
I would think
So
no.
then I'm gonna
No.
move the bunker down a little. So then
Okay.
we could put the Corolla in between the two.
Between them.
Putting it above the survival set or survival kit would mean that it's more, I guess, like convenient, which it's really not because you have to tear apart the whole car just to make an entire cooking set.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
gonna take you a
you probably
lot of
won't- you
labor,
can't tear
especially if you
apart
don't have
most
two
of the-
tools.
Yeah.
And if you're Jacob, you don't know how cars work, so I don't know what I'm
Yeah,
looking
that's true.
for.
Yeah.
So this one I think is gonna be towards the bottom of our list. I've got a non-domesticated raccoon. So specifically by
gotta be-
non-domesticated, I mean they take a raccoon off like in the woods, they scoop it up in a box, they dump it on the island, and that's what you get.
All
If you
right.
manage to kill it, it's a meal or two.
It's, yeah, it's a
Rabies.
meal or two. It's a meal or two. That's it. And it might give you rabies.
Rabies equals death.
It's
Well,
the bottom for now.
It's the
It might be
risk.
The
worse,
part is,
but-
it could steal stuff from you too. It could
Yeah,
like just walk
little
up to your camp while you're
kleptos.
sleeping
Yeah,
and steal
that's why you
from
gotta kill it. If you don't kill that thing, there's no positives.
You gotta make sure
This
though,
is
that
it's
it doesn't
actually
get
more of a
away.
hindrance than anything.
Yeah.
You gotta like catch it at the
start.
start, otherwise you're like.
It's
I
above Danny
disagree.
DeVito.
I disagree.
You think it's above Danny
strongly.
DeVito? I think it's
I disagree strongly.
close to nothing.
Danny DeVito does
It's
nothing.
worth
Danny DeVito will
Oh,
help keep
okay.
your sanity. That raccoon will feed you for a day or two. At the best,
Here's the
and at
thing.
the worst, it will
gonna
it will
not
take your
eat it.
stuff. It will eat your food.
trash it.
At the
You have
worst,
to
it
rec-
kills you.
control
My
the
thing
dog.
is that this has to be worse than Danny DeVito, or we need to move things because the only thing that I can label this raccoon as is an inconvenience.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Dude, it's
Sure.
like if it could like steal your food or it could steal your supplies, and you just wake up and be like, "Well, okay, now I can't do anything."
Yeah, now,
That's
now this
true.
raccoon has my Glock. Like,
Well, you
Yeah.
only get one item.
You only get one thing. Yeah.
That raccoon stole my car.
Uh-oh.
my Corolla.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna put him more towards the bottom.
Four. Yeah, I would do 4 small
Like,
squares.
he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This one actually, this could be pretty useful. We got a horse.
Hmm.
I mean, the fact that like this is like worst case scenario, it is food for probably close to a week.
Exactly.
It is
But also
almost
like
like-
transportation. You
And-
know.
You can
Yeah.
haul stuff on it. Horses are strong. You could have it if you were like, I need a bunch of wood. I can only get it on the other side of the island and take it back to like my camp. You could just have your horse help you bring it over.
That's
You
fair.
can make like a what is it called? It's like a trailer, but that's not what it's called. I think like a sleigh or something.
One thing I was thinking about the horse, right, is that, you know, you don't have to worry about. First, I was like, okay, well, you have to feed it. Well, a lot of horses can graze, so as long as there's grass on the island, you won't have to worry too much about supplying it with food because it can just feed itself.
That's true.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the same thing too is like if there's any plant life at all, there's definitely going to be grass.
Yeah.
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 Or I guess like wild berries even. That could be nice.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's poisonous to horses, but
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't know.
The risk factor of everything.
true.
So,
I
for
put it
leg
above.
bearing
I put it like on par with the Glock probably.
with the Glock,
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
it's pretty much on par.
I think also just I mean, horses have energy and they're fragile. You know,
Yeah.
if it's rough terrain and like the horse breaks its leg, like it's just done, you know. And then there goes your one item, or a predator or something, and it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that right now is probably good. All right, now it's time for ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. August's soccer pick of the day. If you remember last episode, we put the Incredible Hulk in our, little, we'll call it a tier list. Today we have a different kind of Hulk. August, you want to go ahead and explain the Hulk?
So Hulk is a Brazilian soccer player. Basically he's known for just absolutely blasting the ball with his left foot. There's videos of him hitting the ball so hard that it goes through the net.
So we're saying that this guy is a muscle help.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, he's just jacked. He's
he's
ripped.
huge.
Hmm.
So, I
I'm
mean, he
saying
looks
he's,
strong.
like,
Like crazy strong.
The main thing is he probably needs so much food just to keep
That's
up
true.
with
Calories.
and stuff. But like at the same time, he'd probably wrestle a bear or something. So
Looks like you would, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
like a
probably take
wild
one.
boar on the island or something, he'll just be like, "Man, I'm hungry. I'll be right back," and come back with like
Just
pack
he
of
comes
wolves.
back, he's covered in blood.
Realistically, like it probably get hurt or something, but I think he would just be able to. Hey, I don't even know. Just do some real damage.
Honestly, then in that case, like, would we say that he's better than the Corolla?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
Because the difference is the Corolla, it like has opportunities to help in its shelter and everything. You have to at least feed him.
Yeah,
have to
that's why he drops
know
down
that.
so much, is because food and.
I think he'd be like the same around the horse. Like the horse gives kind of the same things that he can.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's
But
fair.
he'd be above the horse though, because
Yeah.
he can help with more stuff than the horse
He
can.
can do more
Really?
stuff, but he requires more
You can hold stuff
maintenance.
too.
So,
You guys
like,
could like make
I
weapons
could
and
put him
stuff.
like a couple ticks above. I'm okay with that. What do you guys
Yeah.
think?
That's yeah.
Hmm. Honestly, I would put him below the horse because, like we said, you can ride the horse. You can maybe makeshift some sort of like carrier thing for the horse to carry stuff, and the horse, I guess, kind of self feeds if it does graze. So it's less of having to get so much protein and only
That
really
is
having to
fair.
feed yourself and letting the horse feed itself.
The Hulk can do what the horse can, but it also you can't ride the Hulk. I mean, you probably could, but you don't want to.
I mean, yeah,
However-
piggyback.
And he requires heavy
Exactly.
maintenance to be able to keep his caloric level up. So
Yeah.
However,
I see that.
having the Hulk, you also get a companion like with Danny DeVito, which that might also put into effect. So I don't exactly know.
honestly, I think
the-
they
the
could
thing
even
is
go
too
on
is that, like,
par.
Oh, are we gonna do a
one
our
that might
first
change it a
round?
little bit? Well, the Hulk, you can make weapons and stuff, and then he becomes even more useful. Because like the
That's
horse,
true.
you can only get it to a point where it's like, oh, it carries more stuff for me now. The Hulk, you could like just give him an axe or something and be like, go cut down a bunch
You
of
can make a
trees and then bring it
spear.
back, and I'll go get food. The horse
Okay,
is
that's
like
true.
the horse won't do anything by itself. You have to be with the
Yeah,
horse to do
Exactly.
anything.
Yeah. The human brain is way more useful than a horse brain.
That's true.
So I think they're very close with their own advantages and disadvantages. So, I mean that's pretty darn close.
Okay.
All right. Next up on the list we have. Honestly, after the booster pack, this changes everything about what I felt about this. A standard deck of 52 cards.
Oh.
That's like, I think that would end up being in between just the Glock and the Pokemon cards. It's
It
just
has to be
Pokemon-
better than the Pokemon cards, right?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
That deck is like the casing on it isn't gonna keep it from getting wet like the plastic on the booster pack would.
But it's still
Yeah,
there's
But if you
so
cover it,
many.
it's still you get more of
52,
more fire
that's
starter.
crazy. Like
With the Pokemon cards, though, you also have the reflective cards,
Okay.
so
what
you
does
can
that have
also.
to? What do we need?
I don't think
chance-
those are gonna work as well as you think they would.
Okay.
Yeah, the chance of you even getting one is just like it
Yeah,
just doesn't
that's
make
fair,
it that
Yeah, I was gonna
useful.
say you got to think of the rarity here. Because
Like
these aren't the
the chance of you
Japanese
getting
ones.
one is like, oh my god, you're like I got one. I'd probably just burn it anyways, to be honest.
I mean, yeah.
Actually, isn't aren't the packs nowadays? I'm saying for the regular cards, aren't they 54? Because there's two Jokers, one red, one black.
Yeah.
I guess.
So-
And usually there's like one or two
instruction
just
card?
random cards.
Yeah.
So we
So
could say
yeah,
we could say anywhere
56.
from 54 to 56.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which
if
I mean
you-
is
if you
over a
could
month if
only
you
use
use one a day.
Yeah, it's just
I was
exactly.
about to say, if you use one every day, that'd be insane. You don't even have to use them every day either. If you
Yeah.
kept the fire going for like 2 days, or like 3 even somehow if you were insane.
Yeah, I think they would be more useful than the booster.
Mm. All right, now, Cole, you added this one to the list, and I just need you. Actually, you added the next 2 to the list, so for these next 2, I'm gonna need you to explain your thought process behind this. The Catwoman whip.
Okay.
Yeah, wait.
So the thought behind the Catwoman whip was like, okay, so you could use it as like utility. So like you could use it for kind of like generic needs, and you could also use it to kind of defend yourself or to get food or something like that. That's kind of the thought. And then the Catwoman part of it, I don't know. It's a whip.
You just wanted to specify a whip, and you just chose.
Like it could have been the Indiana Jones whip, but
Yeah, but you said
Well,
cat.
This one,
Everyone
I
knows the
think,
Indi-
I think this
Everyone knows
one.
the Indiana Jones
or-
whip, okay? Let a woman belong, please.
Oh my
Catwoman.
gosh.
Okay, all right, hold on. Hear me out. This whip is technically more useful than a normal one though, because it has like spikes on the end of it, because it has a cat's face.
Oh my goodness,
And I
he has like
imagine that's
bars.
like it's not plastic or anything. That's probably like metal or probably not metal. I don't know what it would be, but that makes it more useful. than a
see, I was
normal
cooking with this.
one. No, you didn't even know that. Otherwise, you would
Yeah,
have
you
said
didn't
it.
even know that. You're just like,
But I was
oh,
cooking.
Catwoman.
I
You
think
just thought a whip.
personally, if you could somehow make the end of that like sharp or something, it would be above the Glock. Only
Mhm.
because it's not a limited like
Infinite
amount
ammo
of
weapon. I see where you're going.
Yeah.
I say we put it above the Glock,
hmm
to be honest.
Below the horse, though, right?
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had to be below the horse.
I really don't know what else you would use it for though, besides like hunting. I feel unless you're like as insane as Indiana Jones, maybe you could be like a monkey and like swing on vines and stuff like that with it. But
Yeah, I was
Which,
gonna say,
like-
if you're proficient enough, you can like use it. You could also just use it as like, a fancy rope.
Yeah.
yeah,
The nice thing though is it could be used underwater.
True. Well,
whip?
kind of.
No, no.
no.
There's no way
I
you'd
don't
be able.
know.
There's no way you'd be able to whip a whip underwater.
No,
You would-
no, that's not how it works.
No,
The,
there's too
the
much
amount
resistance.
of drag, the amount of drag and resistance that'd be
The
stopping
whole
it.
point of the whip is that the end of the whip travels so fast. Like the crack of a whip is literally it breaking the sound barrier.
That's true.
Okay. My bad.
Yeah, you're bad.
Whoa.
Okay,
You'd just be swinging like a stick around in water. It'd be useless.
okay, you're gonna need. Cole, you're gonna need to explain this one too. Okay, I kind of see where you were going with this, but on the other hand, what a train car like what are we
So,
doing
That's a
here?
pretty good shelter though.
So it's kind of like the
Solid
car a little
shelter.
bit. It's kind of like the car, but it's really big, so you could store things in it, and it's a lot more protective than like a house would be, just kind of in the middle of nowhere. Because you could also move it. So like if the land starts to kind of get in a bad spot, then you can just move it to where you need it to be.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
but
you for
who is
sounding
able
really
to
smart when you
move?
were explaining that. But you know what? Explain a little bit more. How are you gonna move it?
Yeah.
On wheels.
You know how heavy that thing
sorry, my bad. I didn't
Wheels-
know it was
wheels-
on wheels. Okay, I'm sorry.
is? If the thing is on sand, you're not pushing it.
If it's on
It's just
track,
gonna
you're not
that's
pushing it. It's
crazy.
made for
It's
metal
a-
rails.
It's a train car.
You're not
Wait,
pushing it.
okay,
Period.
I'm just saying on dirt, there's like a slightly better chance than compared to if you were in sand.
If it was what is it? Sentient, like Diesel from Thomas.
Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas and Friends. Like, maybe like
Well-
obviously he can move himself. Cole, none of us here, including normal human beings, they are not pushing or pulling this train car anywhere. Wherever it goes down, that's where it is.
I don't exactly know if I want to go inside of a character that's from the Thomas and the Tank Engine series. So I would like to stick with the regular trade car.
I'm just gonna say it though, it's still better than the Portafort because it's the same thing except
Yeah,
this doesn't
that's
have any
fair.
holes in it.
And I would put it in
And
between,
it's
honestly,
bigger,
the Ford
so it
and the
has more
Corolla.
storage.
Because the
think
Corolla
that's
has
what it is.
resources.
So, are we putting it above the Hulk or below the Hulk?
We're doing it. So
Above.
the Hulk is
Because
over
if it-
behind the fort. This is better than. This is better than the Sorry, I'm blanking. So Hulk is behind the fort. We said this is better than the Porta Fort or Porta Bunker, but I still think that it's better than or worse than the Corolla, because the Corolla
Yeah.
at least gives us resources with it, like gas and other, uh, cloth and fabrics or leather, depending on the Corolla.
Wait. So you would, you have it above the bunker
Yeah.
currently.
Yeah.
You have the train car above the bunker,
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
even with the rope and the tires and everything in consideration.
Mm.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I just think that you get more utility out of it as opposed to the train car.
I think it's gotta be
Good point.
close.
It's definitely. I mean, yeah. The fact that it gives you extra resources definitely makes it better than the train car.
Yeah, and I don't think that the remainder of the Portafortress or whatever, or God, we keep calling it Portafort. It's a portable bunker.
It's like
For tho-
no one Moses, okay? Like
yeah,
That's
for those who
true.
don't play Fortnite, it's like two triangular like right angle walls with a ramp and like a flat wall. It's like a little like triangle base in a way, but there is an open slot on the ramp going up, so you would have to cover that. But I think that's a lot easier to cover and just have that covered and have all those resources with the porta bunker instead of just having a train car that's unmovable and doesn't really provide much besides for shelter and storage.
I wouldn't say unmovable. I would just say
Oh
theoretically
my gosh.
Not-
We are
Also,
not
whoa,
moving
we're
a
not
train
going there.
car.
I didn't even think about this, but like the Portafort, you have the grenade, right? So you can just put it anywhere.
Yeah, the
Oh yeah.
car
I
is
didn't,
stuck
I didn't
wherever
even
it
think
goes.
about that.
No matter how much Cole says we're moving it, we're not. It's not movable.
fine.
Thank you.
Maybe if you had the actual Hulk.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe if we had the actual Hulk with us. Alright, this next one's a little bit more chill. It's just a pack of Nature Valley. It is the crunchy granola bars. So
This is the ones where you see all the memes on the internet of where you open the package of one of them and it turns into like pharaoh dust from a tomb of a mummy, and it just crumbles in your lap. So trying not to spill everywhere and wasting potential food is probably a disadvantage, but for the sake of the app, it is a 49 count box from Sam's Club. So you get 98 because you get 2 in a
Yeah,
in a
there's
little
2 in every
package.
bag.
So you get 49 count, so 98 little granola bars.
now
It's got
my
to be
first
on
thought-
par or above the cooking set.
on or
'cause it's
above
just
the
food for
cooking
days.
set. Well, here's my thing,
it's been,
right? These things
for
are.
a while.
I've had these before. Like my mom used to buy them all the time because she thought I liked them. Because she's like, "Oh, we need granola bars. Let's not get the Quaker Oat soft and chewy chocolate chip ones. Let's get the ones that taste like dirt." So,
They're
you
good,
get
bro.
these. Now, here's the problem, right? When you eat these, they're dry, which requires you to. It requires you to drink more water and waste more
Yeah.
water
That's
because
true.
you're trying to
That's a
eat
good
these
point, yeah.
dry dirt
Oh.
bars.
Yeah. And also, it's kind of like when you eat Captain Crunch cereal and you eat so much that the top of your mouth just feels so
Yes.
raw because you're eating sandpaper.
Exactly. know?
Like,
I mean,
Oh
I
my
don't know how
gosh.
flammable is oats because that might be a good fire starter.
I don't think oven is really
Box, the
flammable.
box.
You get the cardboard.
Use
You
the
get the
box.
cardboard from the box.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So you get one fire out of the cardboard.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
what's
I
the-
don't
what's
get the
the
52
wrapper made out
deck
of,
of
though?
cards over this.
Yeah.
You also get all of the packaging from the bars. I don't know how useful
don't
that
even-
can be.
I don't know why you would burn the whole box. in
Yeah,
the
you
fire.
wouldn't burn the
I
whole
don't know
thing,
why
you'd tear it
wouldn't
into
rip the-
pieces.
You would
Still,
rip
though, that's
pieces off. You
kindling.
would've
I
just-
would rather take the 52 deck of cards over a cardboard box. The box
Ooh.
isn't that big.
I mean, it's a 40.
Yeah, but it's
Actually,
still like you
granola
still want to
bars are
the whole
not
thing in one go,
That
though.
crazy.
I would
I'd
put it
also think
between the
I'd
deck of
rather
cards and
just
the Pokemon
drown
pack.
myself than eat dirt bars while I'm trying to. I'd rather just get my own food.
Well, that's your opinion.
That is my opinion, and I'm sharing it.
It is.
So
I like
To be
those.
fair,
I
we
think they're good.
could
no,
we
you do
could
not.
They're good, yeah.
They're good, but like you do need a lot of water. Like
Yeah, that's true.
you do need water.
I mean, to be fair, you could like put it at the bottom, but you still have to consider it is food.
Yes, that's what that's
Exactly.
at the end of the day, you need that.
I would honestly say in between. I think the best spot is in between the deck of cards and the Glock.
I would
Yeah,
say in between the deck of cards and the Pokemon pack.
I agree.
Yeah,
Pokemon
Yeah, I
pack.
can-
and
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the Glock can actually get you better food. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. We'll put the Pokemon cards over here for now. And then we'll get the crunchy bars. We want them. We said in between the deck.
The deck of
Yeah.
both the cards.
Okay, yeah, I got that.
Boom.
Okay. All right. Now we got a Nokia phone. So are we saying that the Nokia phone has or does not have cell service?
I imagine it probably wouldn't because you're on an island in the middle of nowhere, but it is Nokia.
Yeah.
If we're giving the phone no cell service, then wouldn't it only be fair that the computer does not have cell service?
The computer doesn't have cell service. It has fiber optic internet.
Or so would the phone also have fiber optic internet?
Ooh.
Well, the
This
thing
is
is,
kind of like
that
on
that
case
stuff
basis,
comes-
like how we said post flood Noah last time, but then like
Yeah.
old Kanye. This is just like a case by case basis. So like, do we want the cell phone to have cell service or not? The gaming setup has to have
At
internet
that
because it's a
point-
gaming setup.
I was going to say at that point it'd probably be right next to the gaming setup.
If it
Well,
has
it's all
service,
good.
it's right next to the gaming setup. If it doesn't, it's by Danny DeVito.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
let's just go in.
No, I would put it above Danny DeVito because it's unbreakable. So like you could just do whatever
That's
you want.
true.
with
It's like a multi-tool.
Hammerhead. All right. Well, let's
You
just
just hit
go
the
down
button.
our. Let's go down our. We have an odd number here, so let's just go down our podcast order and vote. I vote no cell service.
I do not think it should have cell service.
I think it should.
I also think it should.
Rick, are you the deciding factor?
Our special guest is the deciding factor.
I like it probably should if the computer does, but at the same time, if we go off the fact that like in reality, the PC we said comes with the internet. If you gave like the phone, if you were on an island, it wouldn't have it at all, but neither would the PC. So if we give the PC internet, I feel like phone should have cell service.
Okay.
Okay,
I
so
think that just
someone's
makes
not
it
coming
fair.
back on this pod ever again.
Oh,
Dang.
No,
No. I'm chill. You're chill. You're chill.
can I change my vote? Can I change my vote?
It's gotta be right below the PC, just because you can do more with the PC.
yeah, the PC
Yeah,
can at least
The
entertain
PC
you
I
while
can
you
play
wait.
games while waiting.
true. Yeah, I get to queue
Could
up
you
games.
See, I
could
think
you
I
look
think
up numbers on that Nokia phone? Does it have the power to do that?
No, it's old.
Have
You have
numbers?
to type
No.
it in, and it doesn't have speed dial
You
save
just have to
either.
call 911.
Yeah, but you would just call 911.
That's true.
I also didn't think about that it has a battery in it, but it would not be as close to the PC as we think it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Only because it would have a limited amount of battery. If you were just dumb, and you were just like, oh, I don't need to call anybody yet. I'm on my phone doing whatever. Then it's like, oh, the battery died. Well,
He can last like 18 years before dying, though.
That's
Like
true.
we're chill.
that's true.
All right. The
Then you
next
just
one we
and then
have.
after that you just tie it to a stick and use it as a hammer.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, dude. Hammer.
Multi-purpose.
The next item we have is just a gas can. It doesn't have any gas in it, thanks to the
Yeah, I know.
paint from Jacob. No gas.
Yep.
It's just a receptacle, which could be really good for water. Like it has the nozzle.
It would
you
be
know?
good to hold water in and heat up.
Exactly.
But at the
Yeah,
same
that's like-
time,
that's the main thing.
the plastic it would easily melt.
Yeah.
There's
It's not like
ways
you can
could
boil
heat
water
it.
in
You
there.
know, if you don't have direct heat on it
Yeah.
24/7, it won't melt. But if you have like, if the heat from a fire is radiating next to it, it will tend to warm it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just not a
Yeah,
big fan of
after a
microplastics.
while. Yeah, I was gonna say after a while you wouldn't be able to use it anymore. Unless
Yeah.
unless you kept it a good enough distance away, but at the same time the like heat up water to purify it in that can, it would melt the plastic.
And
That's
that's why,
true.
like, I think there'd have to be another way to purify the water. But if we use this purely for collecting water, that could save you so much time. Which makes
Yeah.
me want to put
And-
it above the Glock. And probably,
But at the
honestly,
same
in
time,
between the
too-
whip and the horse.
I agree.
Yeah.
because at the same time, it's not even just for water. You could be like, I don't want to do that. You could somehow take the top off and just have like a box with no top on it and use it to put stuff in or carry it or something.
That's true.
We decided to add a lot more stuff on this episode.
Yeah.
So, I'm the one running the lucid chart here. So
You
I'm,
get to deal with the mess.
doing math here, trying to figure out how I can squeeze everything in. We're working though. We're working.
There
Barely.
you
but-
go. It's like
yeah.
Tetris.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
All right. Now I don't know what we were thinking with this one because we'll have to discuss power, but a 4th gen Amazon Echo Dot.
All I'm saying is we gave the Nokia phone a very
That's true.
reluctantly
Yeah.
cellular service, and we gave the PC power and internet. I think we have to do
However,
the same
I
for the
don't
Echo Dot.
think an Alexa can call people by just telling it to call someone. I don't think it can do that.
It only can, I think, if it's connected to a phone.
A smartphone, specifically a smartphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a Nokia phone or anything.
So you can play like
Oh,
music on it.
Well, I don't
It's
even think you can play
used like
music.
that. It would be
Mm,
on the level of Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
Because we're saying,
With
I mean, it
power.
has power, but then, yeah, honestly, it is just like Danny DeVito. Although,
Although I
it
also
have
have
access
something.
to Google.
Yeah.
It
I was
Yeah,
does.
about to say this
That changes things.
I'm
with
that
Connor,
does change things.
because you can search up how to like do stuff. I guess
Most
in a way.
efficiently.
escape an island. How to
It's
escape
like
an
Alexa,
island.
how do I purify water? Alexa, how do I make shelter?
Yeah,
like-
so
Yeah.
it has internet access, just no cellular access.
So I think it would be
I think it's in between the cooking kit and the lightsaber.
I don't think
Just
it's
a certain-
that.
I don't. I think it. I
You
think
think
it'd
so?
be in between. It would be in between some of the shelter stuff.
Yeah, I would agree. It's somewhere around the car and the
So, like, do
porta
we want to
bunker.
try? Do we want to do like in between the Corolla and the cooking kit? Or do you think the Corolla would be ultimately better?
I think
the
it
Corolla would still be better, and it's probably in between the train car and the porta fort
Mhm.
because they both provide, or the porta bunker, because they both provide other like resources.
Yeah.
This tells you what to do with those resources, basically.
Exactly. So, like, you have to make sure you have that stuff. It doesn't give you
Yeah, they
anything.
do,
It's
like,
just like, well, if
purify
you
water
have this, you
and
can use it.
furnace.
And it's like, great, I don't have it.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? That makes sense. Thinking about it, that makes sense. So we're doing in between the train car and the porta bunker.
I agree.
Yeah, I like that. All right, we're coming down on the last few. We decided to add a lot more this episode, which is nice. I
Yeah.
know we wanted to try to make it a little bit longer, but yeah, we are coming down on the last few, starting with a hatchet. Just a basic survival hatchet.
It's got to
I'm
be
saying it's gotta be
between
like
the porta bunker and the
directly
Corolla,
under.
maybe, or maybe a
Really?
little bit above the
saying
Corolla.
I'm saying in between the cooking set and the lightsaber.
I think
I'm with
I'd way
Riker.
rather the lightsaber is obviously miles ahead of a hatchet.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
honestly
easy.
think that this thing, the hatchet, to me, is either on par or worse than the Glock. 'Cause, like,
Yeah.
this is a small one-handed hatchet, so you're not getting through anything big.
I was gonna say it's gotta be either above or below the whip, but it's gotta be in that general area because it's depending on the situation, and the whip is really situational compared to the hatchet.
I would
Yeah.
honestly put, since we decided that the whip was a part of, or the whip was above the gun, I would say that the hatchet has to be better than the whip.
Yes.
Probably, I would say it's better than the gas can too, though. To be fair, because you can
'Cause you could
use
kill.
the hatchet to gather resources. You could kill stuff with it. You could make other weapons with it.
Yeah,
You could
yeah.
make
Yeah.
spears and stuff like that. You could it has a lot more versatility.
Well, then maybe I'm gonna throw something out here. Maybe between the train car and the Alexa.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like, you could start fire. You could get fire supply because you can just cut shavings off of like wood and stuff with the hatchet.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
think. I mean, you
Fire.
can't do anything big with it, but it could help a lot with the small stuff.
That's true.
So we're thinking between train car and Alexa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I see that. I see that. Let me
He
just
must be
play
a good
Jenga
way
really
to get
quick.
in there, though.
What'd you say?
Let me just play Jenga really quick.
Oh.
Here we go.
Boom.
Yeah.
All right. Another basic survival tool. We got a flint and steel survival wristband. I feel
Okay.
like though,
This
compared to
is
the other
like-
stuff on the list, like this is not something we would 100% need to start a fire. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
could be wrong.
I
It helps,
on
but
par with cards and like the granola bars.
yeah, I agree.
But
Yeah.
this is like it's just something you would have on you to start a fire, but like it
Yeah.
doesn't give you the stuff to start a fire.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's
just
all-
like it
Yeah.
doesn't. It's just the risk. I mean,
I mean, at least you look dope while on the island. Like,
yeah, you're iced out.
Got that drip.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think then, are we like, I think there's a trio here, right? There's the Pokemon, there's the Nature Valley granola bars, and there's the deck of cards. Do we need to switch these three in an order to where we can kind of fit the paracord bracelet in between one of the two? Because I feel like since the Nature Valley is fire and food, it should be the pinnacle of those three. And then the
That's fair.
paracord bracelet should go in between the granola bars and whatever card is the best, because the box for the Nature Valley is food and you get fire starter, but the bracelet is the fire starter. It's
Mhm.
what helps you start the
yeah,
fire.
it's like the guaranteed like you're gonna have a fire. that you
Yeah.
can use it for.
Yeah.
Exactly. The other ones are like, well, you have to figure out some ulterior thing to have the fire. This is like,
Exactly.
okay, you've got fire now. Have fun. So I mean,
It's
I-
like it guarantees more fire, but it's still not even guaranteed fire.
I would
I
put
would
it in
between the
between.
deck of cards and the granola bars.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. In between the deck of cards and the granola, because
Yeah.
the granola is ultimate food and fire, but also, like we said, like the bracelet is just to start a fire. You would have to have the things to keep a fire.
Yeah.
So, well, the deck of cards, like you can't start a fire with a deck of cards. It can last. Same with the granola bars. The granola bars are just better because they're also a food. So I'm happy with that. If you guys are.
That's good.
Okay. All right, now I actually had to write this down because I could not memorize it. I don't know why Jacob picked this, but this is a mouthful. Get ready. This is a Extreme Power US 2200 watt electric demolition jackhammer concrete breaker chisel.
Yes.
Now,
That's
what was your
okay.
thought behind this?
So the okay, we're though. First thing, do the gloves come with it?
I think
Ooh.
everything in the photo is included.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, 'cause that
We'll
makes
say
sense pretty
we'll
easily.
put
Go ahead and
kit at the-
explain it. Explain it. Sorry.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah. I think that we should have everything in the kit on there. So we'll put kit at the end of this. My philosophy behind this was I wanted an item that's just super duper random, but I need to ask the people of the pod, do we have power for this thing? Or
Yeah,
I think
think
for
I'm saying
purposes of
yeah.
everything else having power, including the Alexa, this thing is allowed to have power.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that I just think that this thing is practical for, I guess, horizontally chopping trees. I think you could. You could break rocks. Why? I don't know. Maybe you need to break
Sure.
rocks.
Fire pits, your
yeah.
shelter.
In a way, you could use it to break, not to be kind of morbid, maybe break some sort of like animals, like after you, I guess, kill them.
About the killing animals. You know, I mean, I see that, but you know, now you got a picture in my head, and like, oh my goodness, that is morbid. Oh
Yeah,
my.
that would be pretty. That would
I
be
mean, it
think-
would
I
work.
think
You know,
the-
in a survival situation, like you're not looking at ethics. You're just like, I need to eat.
Yeah. So I
the,
mean,
at the
I
same
would
time,
put it
though,
in-
is this like it has a cord, right? So is it powered anywhere on the island, or is there like a specific location where you have the power source and it can only go so far
Let's
from
call
said
it.
power?
Let's call it like a solar battery pack. So like the thing, like we said that the gaming setup was gonna be solar powered. So we'll call this like a solar battery pack. It does have juice, so like you cannot use it 24/7. You know, it will die, and you have to recharge the battery pack. But you know,
Yeah.
that's how it will be powered.
We'll say this for the gaming setup too. I think for the time of light during the day is the time of usage. Like, other than that, the battery, we'll just say the battery goes kaput when the sun is down.
Hmm.
So you can't use the gaming setup and you can't use the jackhammer or the
That's
Alexa.
fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because, yeah.
Honestly,
Oh.
I think this would be pretty useful because if we're including everything in there, it has safety glasses. I mean, I don't know what you would do. Maybe like goggles for the water if you find a way to make them tight somehow.
You could
like,
start
kinda
fires with
water out.
those. Isn't that a
It's
thing?
Glasses?
Plastic. It's not actual lenses.
It's
Oh,
plastic.
true. Yeah.
I was thinking maybe if it had the elastic like band on it, but they look like they just have the plastic like sides. If that makes sense. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
well.
Also-
and
But the
so it's
gloves
just
though, the gloves could be really useful to not tear up your hands or anything when moving trees and
true. Yeah,
doing all kinds of dirty work and stuff.
Mhm.
it's basically a powered version of the hatchet, but it
Yeah.
comes with that stuff. So and
Yeah.
it's in any way, it's got to be above the hatchet. But I don't know if I would put it above like the Alexa.
Honestly, I
I
would
could-
put
I
it
could agree
above
with
the
that.
Alexa. I think that
Ooh.
because the Alexa is I would say that the Alexa again, it can just tell me how to do things, but it doesn't come with anything other than a ball. It's just a ball that speaks. So while it could be like good for helpful survival tips, I think having something that actually reduces my, you know, physical strain on my body is better than you know,
True.
something telling me how to strain myself.
Reduces
Well,
calorical
At the
usage.
same time, I feel like
Yeah.
then the hatchet should also be above the Alexa because they're like the same thing. So I feel like if we put this above it, the hatchet should also go above
Yeah,
the Alexa.
we can do a switcheroo. We'll switch that there.
Okay. Yeah, I think this will work. I don't mind it. Because I do agree with this fact that having physical items, like, yeah, even if you don't know how to use a hatchet, which I hope the people watching this kind of do, yeah, it's not really hard to understand. But I feel like if you are using a hatchet, like, it's just better to have, and it's not hard to learn to use. So the Alexa, I don't know. I don't really know where I'm going with this. But also, I just had an epiphany. I mean, I guess the Chiseler too, but the Chiseler is like powered by power. Can't the axe dull or the hatchet dull?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It could, yes.
but then in the same
no,
aspect,
it's not that it-
the chisel heads
can
can
be
also
chisel.
dull.
We have two
Especially
chisel
if you're using
heads.
it on rocks. Yeah, there is a replacement one. But
They're
you would
different
expect
types.
Same though, are they?
expect that to dull
Yeah,
faster than
One's sharp and the other one's flat on the end.
Oh,
I
okay.
feel like the hatchet would take a while to dull though, I think. Unless you were like bashing it on rocks and like stupid crap. I don't like if you just used it for like killing animals, chopping down trees and stuff, I think it would take a bit for it to trip down, but that goes as the same for the jackhammer.
Yeah. And I would like to shout out my dad for this kind of thing, but I feel like at the same time with the hatchet, it's kind of multi-purpose because you could use safely the butt of the hammer head, like the hatchet head, and you could use the flat side to, I guess, use as like a hammer. So it's like you have the sharp edge, and then you flip around the hatchet, and you can use the back of the axe head as a hammer, I guess
That's
in a way.
true.
Why
Yeah,
would you
that
need a
is true.
hammer?
That's a good
But I
point.
again, not to be morbid, but like if you're breaking bones or something of an animal, then boom, you got that. I
That's
don't
true.
know. So
And
it's
you're
kind
in
of
an abandoned island. You know, you got to do what you got to do.
exactly. So I mean, it's multi-purpose in a way.
I think it might actually be better than the jackhammer.
This might,
because of
yeah.
versatility.
Cool.
You also can use the
Versatility
hatchet at
alone.
night if we're going by that standpoint.
True.
Oh
The
yeah.
jackhammer will do literally nothing at night.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it would be above the jackhammer.
Yeah.
Honestly,
'Cause,
I
like,
agree.
you can make the argument that it comes with extra stuff, but the extra stuff wouldn't do a whole bunch. Like the
Yeah.
gloves would be nice, and then obviously the extra like head would help. But besides from that, that's all that it really offers in the versatility range.
Yeah. Dang. Okay. That was we just kind of mixed a lot of stuff
That
up
was a
there.
banger debate and banger switch up. So
Yeah.
the next one, honestly, I don't know where this is gonna go, and it looks like it has more in it, but we're gonna call this 4 Dasani water bottles, which
Yeah.
personally, Dasani is the worst tasting water brand out there.
Didn't they used to put like salt in the water so you would have to
Yeah.
drink more? It
was
would
just
make you
thinking that.
dehydrated.
Yeah. So this, okay. So do we want to say that this is like salty Dasani, or is this like they got sued and now they're like, clean Dasani?
Well, do they still do it? Did they ever actually get sued? I don't think they ever got sued for it. I think they still can do it.
Yeah.
They
That's
might.
crazy. Okay, well then
Yeah.
we'll call it salty
Because-
Dasani, which in this case, honestly, I would put it below Danny DeVito because I don't want to be drinking salty water.
I agree.
Okay,
I don't know.
water. You have to think about the chance of you getting water on an island. You have to at some point like figure out a way to boil water enough to actually have like water on the island. This is
Yeah.
guaranteed like
For
maybe
4 days.
2 to 3 days of water.
It wouldn't even
Well,
be
actually,
4
yeah.
days.
If you use 2 water bottles a day, that's 2 days.
That's still
Yeah.
better than not having any at the start. Because like if you woke up on the island, and you're like, I need water. You would have to get supplies to make a fire. You would have to go start. You would have to get the supplies to make the fire, find a way to collect the water. Because it's not like you have to find a way to move the water into a container and then put it over said fire and then let it boil for who knows how long. Because I don't know how hot the fire is. It can take forever. This is at least a guaranteed source of like good water to keep you going for like a day or two. Give you
That's
some time
true.
to like prepare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Give you some time to make a bowl to then do said task.
Yeah, you have it's like this gives you a couple days to figure it out.
And then you can also use that to hold the water that you collect doing the whatever water heating.
Yeah, you can use it as a water, just a water container.
Yeah, you just gotta be careful because of the plastic though. It's like the gas can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Under
Just
thick.
don't boil it in the bottle, but you can put the bottle. You can
Yeah.
use it afterwards. So
Think
in
what-
that case, we want it above the gas can.
I wouldn't put it above the gas can. I
You
put it
think?
right below because the gas can could be used as other things
So below the gas can,
Yeah, that's true.
above the whip.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about the whip though. Because the
Not
whip
above the
still like it still provides you with like food. And who knows what else you could use. I'm sure there's like other things you could use it for that we just can't think of.
Yeah, just like a strong piece
No.
of rope at the very least.
Yeah. So I think it would be whip still.
So in
I think the
between
whip still
Glock
has
and
some stuff
Glock
to
and whip.
offer. Yeah.
Do we want it more
Okay.
towards the Glock or more towards the whip?
More towards the whip.
I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What do you guys think about that?
It's
I
pretty
think that's
solid.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're coming up on our last two now. We have a We have a Now and Gen 1 Polaroid camera. Why on earth would we need this?
Yeah,
But if
that's
the only use for it would just be like the battery, maybe to try and start a fire if you don't do something stupid.
You
Or-
it would
okay.
work. No, that doesn't
Selfie.
matter. You know what? The slim chance that a plane flies over, I was gonna say you could just take a picture and it would flash, but
Well,
I
it
don't
has a
know.
lens, right? If you take it apart, it does have a lens, which is reflective. There is paper for because it's disposable, so it comes with the paper
Oh,
slips
yeah,
in
it
it,
comes with the
right?
paper rolls.
So you have fire, you have a way to make the fire really easily, and you have a little bit of plastic, I guess, to kind of do stuff with, and you have some circuitry that comes with it.
Would I know it's like normally magnifying glasses, but would like a camera lens work as like a solar? What do you want to like focuser to like shine light? You know, like when magnifying glass on a piece of wood,
Yeah,
make it hot.
I would
I don't.
Yeah.
It depends on the lens.
Yeah,
I think you have to have like a really not like a super nice one, but one that's like actually super magnified.
there's
to
like a,
work. Or
I'd say
maybe
like a 30-70 chance that it might work.
yeah.
yeah.
But at the very least, then it's paper.
Yeah,
But we have other
It's like,
things
it's
that
like the
come with
same
paper.
thing as the bracelet.
I don't know. I just feel like I'm seeing it down in this lower half.
yeah.
Somewhere around. Obviously, like the non-domesticated raccoon is just like that. Like that's just it. You know. It's
I
don't
think it's
know, though,
below
'cause we
Danny
have-
DeVito.
Really, the fact that it has stuff to start a fire, like you could use it to start a fire somehow, and it comes with stuff to start a fire. It's almost like the bracelet and like the cards.
That's
I would
true. The
honestly just for the
The
fact
cards
of
are only
I would put it
the
in
cards are only to act as
between
the start of fire.
I would put it in between the Pokemon cards and the 52 deck. I
Yeah.
don't know. That's
That's
what I
fair.
can see it is
Yeah.
because like at the end is like it's a Polaroid, you know. I don't know how much we'll be able to. You might be able to salvage the rolls out of it and maybe figure out like if you're smart enough, figure out how to start a fire with it. But I see that being hard to do.
Yeah.
But we can like split it.
To the raccoon.
I don't know, dude. Maybe you get some sick flicks while on the island.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
really.
you document.
Or something.
You take a selfie with like the panther you just killed or something like that.
You get saved. You get saved, and you're like, I don't remember what it's like on the island, and you got a sick photo of your camp. I'm gonna say to you.
All right, our last item for this pod episode is the Rhino tank from GTA 5.
All right.
Alright.
How much gas does this thing have? Are we saying this
tank.
thing has enough gas to
Full
last?
tank? Okay, it's
same with the
infinitely better
Corolla,
than the
full tank
box
of gas.
car. It's
How long does
infinitely
that
better than the
last?
Corolla.
How long does it last though? The thing is though, how are you gonna shoot this by yourself? You could use the gun on top, but I feel like
It's
the main
possible.
gun.
I
The
don't know if it's
main
more or less
Wait.
the fact that you're shooting it though. I think it's more or less like, oh, it's shelter too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's
Yeah,
shelter, but then
true.
also, I mean, it's not undoable to shoot it, but also, like, I don't think you would have a purpose. I honestly don't think you'd have a purpose to shoot the cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, aren't tanks really cramped internally? It's shelter, but it's not like
It's not
there's no.
comfy shelter.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
in the event of any natural disaster, you get in there.
True.
And the amount of gas you
The
could
only
siphon
reason I
out of
brought
it
up the
is
guns is
probably
'cause of
crazy.
hunting.
Yeah.
Gotta
Who knows?
choose
Actually,
your
you know
gas.
what? If you could open the like tank shells without blowing them up somehow, you could use those. They have like
Gunpowder.
gunpowder and stuff in them.
True. That's hype.
Like the gun on top, you could use to just kill animals. Is that a bear
Yeah.
outside my base? No more bear.
Is it a bear by 4 o'clock?
Wait, hold
No
on.
more,
does
no more
the-
meat.
what's
The
that
bear's gonna be
inside?
bologna mist.
Yeah.
Use the MG for that.
Yeah.
The thing on the side of the turret, like the black tubes. I don't know what that is.
Well, let's.
Are those
take
supposed
a
to be
look.
like? Are those supposed to be the anti-missile things that shoot like the flares?
Oh yeah, to like get rid of heat seeking.
So you
Yeah,
get
you can
flares?
Definitely,
It's
you
also
can
gotta-
definitely use the flares to like
Oh
think
my
of planes
gosh.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
and it's got a huge like. Look at the headlights on that thing.
You're gonna light
so
up your entire
broken.
campsite.
Yeah.
Do we say this is better than the lightsaber?
I was gonna say that might be better than lightsaber because you
Yeah.
can get off the
Yeah.
island.
I would say yeah. I would say the lightsaber is really good, but it's not as good as the lightsaber. Or
You
no,
also
sorry, it's
could
better than the
go for it.
lightsaber.
You also could just
This is
shoot
like a-
missiles out into the water and see if you hit a boat, and then they could probably find you.
Well, if you hit the
So
boat, that's not helpful.
You shoot a tank shot towards a boat. They're like, maybe they'll save me, and they start sinking. It's like, oh man.
Or they
Well,
fire back.
Use the flares, or you just use the flares. Why you gotta
Exactly.
shoot the tank cannon?
I'm saying like desperate times calls for desperate measures, right?
Yeah.
Every time
boat.
calls for getting the boat to come attack you.
Yeah, because I'm
But
gonna
at
be
the
honest.
same
If I was on
time-
if I was on a military boat and I saw a tank shell get shot at me and I saw a tank, I'd probably be like, oh, they're probably not my friend.
That's true.
That's true.
But also, what on earth are you just gonna look around and be like, huh, there's just a single tank on a random island. That's interesting.
Well, that's why you use the flares that are on it from the like missile flares on the side.
Exactly.
Those things are bright and they shoot up pretty high.
Okay.
Well, all right, guys.
I mean, they shoot up like a decent distance.
Yeah. So, I want to start something new, and then at the end of every episode, since we've reached the end, we're gonna all go down the line, in the order that just we've been using, and we're gonna say our favorite item that made up on the list and why. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna say my favorite item was the chill non-domesticated raccoon, because to be honest, he looks kind of like a chill guy. But also the thought of someone picking him and then he's just like a nuisance the whole time you're there, stealing your stuff. The whole idea is just funny to me. So that's why I'm picking the raccoon.
Okay.
August?
Well, I gotta say Hulk.
Hulk? Well, yeah, because he's your soccer pick of the day.
Yeah. I also think he would just be really helpful, and I would want to meet him and see
In real
what
life?
see what his life is like. Yeah, I mean,
Tisk.
Hulk, if you're
he's
watching
been all
this-
around the world.
Hulk, if you're watching our podcast with 5 viewers, I mean, hit my boy up, all right? Cole?
I'd have to say the porta bunker just kind of shocked me how useful it could be compared to the rest of the things on the list.
You
I don't
can see
know.
the shape of it.
Yeah,
on
you
it.
can see the shape for our viewers. There
Yeah.
you go. That's actually what it like the little ramp with the walls. That is what it looks like.
It's just it has a lot of utility for it. It's just surprising how a unique Fortnite item could be so useful on a stranded island.
Does this have to do with your crippling addiction to Fortnite? Is that why you picked this?
I
item?
wouldn't say that, but
Mission level 204.
Yeah, this guy's level 204 on Fortnite, okay?
He just got exposed.
He's got a problem.
oh,
Yeah.
Alright, Jacob.
My favorite item on this list, I'm gonna say, I don't know. I think the gaming setup is my favorite because when we were discussing items before the cast, we were just like, oh, funny, haha, setup. But then I had like that epiphany of like, wait, can't I just like talk to people online and like ask people for help? And I think that sparked like a revolution of like all our
Yeah,
technology items being like, can this get us help?
Yeah.
Like it was kind of like a Pathfinder item. So I think that was my favorite item.
Mm-hmm.
it's true.
Riker?
My favorite's got to be the horse, honestly. I feel like it's
Type
fun
horse.
to like. I think it'd be fun to just wake up in the middle of the night and he's just staring at you. Like, what do you want? Go away.
Specifically
think
this
it's
horse in the
chill,
image
too.
too.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's got
it'd
like
be
he's
so
got like a
cool.
fade going on the top. I'm liking it.
Oh gosh.
Well, alright guys. This has been episode 2. I hope you guys enjoyed. We might actually try to come out with like a consistent schedule. Right now we're kind of just filming when we feel like it and then just uploading it like a day later. But we might come up with like a weekly schedule, and if we do, we'll be sure to let you know. So, thank you for watching, and goodbye.